and welcome to Joanne's Healing Within. I am Joanne Angel Barry Colon, your certified personal trainer, author, publisher, holistic healer, nutrition coach, and the owner of Holistic Fitness. And today I have an amazing show to share with you, as usual. But before we go there, let me just take a moment to thank my sponsors for supporting the show. So we have Good Chi Feng Shui LLC. This is a great time of year to feng shui your home and office space, as any time of year is a great time to feng shui your space. Because as we feng shui our space, we also feng shui our own personal energy, because when you walk into our feng shui space, you actually do cleanse your own personal energy, which is necessary as you walk out in the streets, collecting other people's energy. So feng shuiing your home and office is a really great thing for you. We also have Sherry Simpson, who is a transformational life coach. She's going to guide you in transforming your entire life after you feng shuied your space. And then we have Nick Rafter, who is our real estate agent. He's going to help you find that perfect home. Now that you've feng shuied everything, you're ready to redirect your energy and move into something new. So those are our sponsors for today. I'd like to remind you to like and share today's show, as we are going to be sharing some great information and healing energy. So I do not want you to miss anything, and you just never know which of your friends would benefit from today's show. So share and like. And also, as a reminder, if you are in the Queens area, feel free to stop by to Holistic Fitness. I'm always available to speak with you and to sit and help you pick the right program that's going to help transform your mind, body, and spirit. With that said, I like to set the energy for today, as the energy seems a bit funky since the full moon that we just recently had about a week ago, which was in Scorpio energy. Many people that I'm coming across are saying that their energy seems a bit off. So why do we do a card reading? A card reading is helpful to gain clarity, to reset your energy, and more importantly, to raise your vibration. So this is what we're going to do now. I'm going to shuffle up the cards, and while doing so, perhaps you might want to sit, quiet your mind, close your eyes, and ask a question, and perhaps the cards are going to answer that question for you. So I'm going to shuffle one more time and see what we have to offer in reference to clarity. I'm picking the middle card here. And what do we need to hear today? Oh, I love this card. It's the Queen and King. The Queen and King. So what I get from this is, are you referring to yourself as a queen, or are you referring to yourself as a king? Do you refer to your spouse as a queen or king? Very important message here. As opposed to, what I'm also hearing with this is about respect. You know, stepping up the respect in the relationship, really respecting one another as a queen and king. And what does that mean to you? What does being a queen mean? What does being a king mean? And just stepping up your respect for one another. In regards to the chakra associated, it's the sacral chakra. The sacral is all about what it is you are creating, and what it is, are you stepping into your confidence? And I'm really hearing the word confidence today as we do step into the Queen and King energy. Are you developing the confidence to feel as though you're a queen or a king? Or are you walking around feeling like real low self-esteem or low energy? Because that would be the sacral energy as well. How are you birthing yourself? How are you creating this new energy of being a queen or king? And allowing yourself to let go of any type of judgment that you hold about yourself, or letting go of any guilt or shame that you may have. In fact, I was reading earlier today on Facebook about how we need to learn to let go of our past and focus on living in the now, focus on being in the now. Because so many of us hold on to our past stories, our luggage, and it's weighing us down, it's causing us to feel emotionally heavy, and we need to let that go. That's the sacral energy. It's time to really allow yourself to birth something, to step into being in a rebirth, to transform into that Queen and King energy. And let go of the things that no longer serve you. That baggage, it's time to put the baggage into the trash and allow yourself this new space of opportunity to grow into the purpose that you are meant to be on this earth. trusting the purpose that you're meant to be, and more importantly, trusting your faith as the queen and king that you really are. We move into the numerology energy, which is number 2. The number 2 is about your partnership. And before we step into the higher level of partnership, I really want to go back into the affirmation of the partnership you have with yourself. Do you really consider yourself as a queen or a king? Or what level do you consider yourself as? And if you're not looking at yourself as a queen or a king, and you're not what's the word I'm looking for? You're not attracting people to look at you as a queen or king. Maybe it's time to really step up your energy, so the partnership that you have with yourself will start resonating and radiating that type of energy, that you'll start feeling like a queen and king. Because the respect comes from us first. We have to have respect for ourselves, for other people to then turn and look at you as a queen or king. That number 2 is all about the partnership we have with our higher self as well, and trusting our faith. And then, of course, all the other partnerships that we develop, whether it's a partnership with our siblings, our parents, our neighbors, our friends, the stranger in the street. I've heard somewhere that even though you might be a stranger to somebody sitting on the train or bus, the minute you're in their energy, you're no longer strangers, because you're sharing energy. And I want you to think of that as every person you come in contact with is now a partner with you in one way or another. Everybody that you come in contact with is sharing some sort of message, whether it's a silent message or a message in words. But the minute you connect energetically, whether you're sitting next to someone, standing next to someone in the store, on the bus, the train, you're connecting energy. And I want you to think about that, because they're no longer strangers. And something that they can say to you or you say to them could be very powerful, because it could be something that they very well needed to hear, that they were looking to hear to help them move into their day. So remember that when you do connect with someone energetically, remember to smile at them. Remember to say hello. Remember to say good morning. Remember to say have a great day, because now you are no longer strangers. And that's that 2 energy. And when we think about that sacral energy in reference to the confidence, have the confidence to step into your power of being a queen and king, to become friendly with that person that you happen to be standing or sitting next to that you may not know at the moment. But have that confidence to step into that new relationship, because you just never know where it's going to go. Also, what I'm hearing as well is, take the headphones off the ears. Take your eyeballs out your book and look around, because you just never know who's on that bus and train that you may very well want to connect with. But if we're so distracted with our ears being plugged in or our face in the book, we're missing out on opportunities. So give yourself permission just to let all that go. Allow yourself to open up to the universe, to God, and see what God in the universe has put in your path. Perhaps it's somebody you're supposed to make a connection with. So that's the card I get today as being a king and queen. Step into your power. Step into your confidence. Create something, birth something, and develop new relationships, not only with yourself, but with your higher self and all the people you come in contact with. That's the message. I do hope that resonated with you, and I do hope it answered the question that you might have asked as I was shuffling. And feel free to reach out to me should you like to have a private reading. You can reach out to me at 646-236-9155. I'm always available for private readings, and readings can be done Facebook video messenger, through Zoom, or in person at my facility in Queens. So always reach out. I'm available to you. With that said, we're going to be taking a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to be bringing my first guest on, and then we're going to just have a lot of education and healing and transforming. So we'll be right back.
I'm Nick Rafter, founder and owner of Nick Rafter Real Estate. If you've ever bought, sold, or rented a home in the New York area, you know how difficult a process that can be. But that's where I come in. With years of experience and knowledge of the New York rental and sales market, I can help you navigate the difficult process of renting, selling, or buying a home. Let me help you find a place to be. Here in New York, the best place to be.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. Well, I hope that you gained a lot of information and insight on that card reading because it was very powerful. Anytime we talk about the Queen and King, that's powerful energy, and I'm hoping that you are rebirthing something. And more importantly, I do hope that you do take off the earphones and take your head out your book or your Facebook page. Not now, though. Don't take your head out the Facebook page. Stay focused with us, because you just never know who you're going to connect with, who you're going to meet, and what opportunities can come your way. So, talk about opportunities. I have my guest here, Manny, right? Maddie. And she is the host of, talk host of the radio show Women's Democracy.
Radical Democracy.
Oh, Radical. Where did I get
and the women's, because it's through the Women's Oneness Project.
I just got it all twisted today. My. So sorry about that.
No
Radical
problem.
Democracy, which I love your show.
Oh, thank you.
I just sit here having my lunch and listening, and I'm like, wow, the things she comes up with and the topics, they're awesome. Awesome.
Great.
So
Thank
today
you.
we're going to be talking about the rites of passage with the medicine wheel. Do I have that right?
You have it right.
Okay. So now exactly what is that?
Well, it's interesting that you would talk about how leaving the past behind. So the medicine wheel symbol is a symbol, it's a circle with an equidistant cross in it. So that's what we think of when we think of the medicine wheel symbol. But what it symbolizes is your entire life. So one of the problems we have in our culture is we're a denial of death culture. I am certified in thanatology, which is a course I took at the Art of Dying Institute in the Open Center, which is in New York City. A wonderful course, and everyone should take it because it definitely gives you an awareness of the fact that this is it. This is your life, you know, and you need to deal with it. So aside from all the other wonderful things they do at the Art of Dying Institute, like tell you how to do ceremony for funeral or get you connected with different religions, different spiritualities so that you can serve people, or a lot of people that take the course are counselors. I think everybody should take the course, really.
And where is this course offered?
It's at the Open Center in New York City, which is wonderful, very affordable,
Yes.
love them. But you would go specifically or call specifically and ask to talk to Tisha at the Art of Dying Institute.
Oh, okay.
And but one of the things that came to me, we have to do a final project. Now, I have been working with Native people for 25 years. So the medicine wheel symbol comes from mostly the Plains Indians, but it is one of those universal symbols. It's found in a lot of different cultures. So when you look at this symbol of the circle with the equidistant cross, and you're seeing that as your whole life, and you're raised seeing that as your whole life, you have a very different approach to how you're living it. So in our culture, we've lost a lot of ritual. We've lost a lot of rite of passage. If you belong to a specific religious group, you have certain religious rites of passage. Unfortunately, some religious groups have none for women. Whereas the nice thing about when you look at Native culture is we're honoring women. You know, in some Native traditions and Native American traditions, women are considered spiritually above men because we are the life givers and they are the life takers.
Oh, wow.
But everybody goes through these rites of passage. And when you look at the markings, so if, let's say you're going to start in the east and you're going to go around to what would be the south if you're looking at it. So that quarter is from your birth, in my interpretation. I should also say this is a cross-cultural interpretation. Because this is definitely not the Lakota way or the Cheyenne. The Cheyenne actually we're adopted into a Cheyenne family. So the Cheyenne actually tilt the wheels so that it's like an X, because their directions of power are in what we would call the southeast, the southwest. That's how they look at it.
Interesting.
But for me, I also combine this with my training in the Pachacuti Mesa tradition, which is a Peruvian style of healing and worshiping and connecting with spirit. So I started in the east, and I go around to the south, and that would be the first quadrant of your life. So that's birth to approximately puberty. Okay? And what happens is in Native cultures, there are ceremonies that happen with your community. So you're born, there's the naming ceremony. Okay, that's a big deal. Your whole community is there. Then you get halfway through and you have when a child earns their knife. So this is a ceremony that I do. I did for a friend of mine's daughter recently. And the earning of the knife is a big step because you have now shown your grandmother and grandfather, who are your teachers from 3 years old to 10 years old, that you are respectful and responsible. We do not give knives to people who are disrespectful and irresponsible.
Of course not.
So their whole culture is based on the idea of teaching respect. So when you do this ceremony and your community is invited, you are being given the knife. And it's a big moment. There's a moment where, in the way I do the ceremony, there's a cord, and the mom and the dad cut a notch in the cord, and the daughter or son cuts the notch in the cord too, which symbolizes that they are agreeing to let you go. They are recognizing that you are now going to have more responsibility.
And this is how old that this takes place?
It would come somewhere between, let's say, 8 and 10,
Oh,
probably.
okay. And this is where they get a little more responsibility at that point.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
So your whole community is there. The ritual is done. In the case of my friend's daughter, she chose to have it done in a teepee, so we did it in a teepee. She
Okay.
likes the teepee. Another
Now,
ritual.
is that the graph, the image we have?
Yes.
Ryan, can you show that image? Perfect. This way here they get to see it. Yes.
good.
Yes. See.
Oh, so that's her medicine wheel that you're seeing up there.
Okay.
So you can see how it's the 4 quadrants, it's the white stones. There's different icons that we put on there for her. It's the picture is taken so that actually where the candle is the east, because that's the sunrise, and then the rock, which is the south, which also symbolizes the earth. So you've got fire and earth. And then you go over into the west, there's a shell, that's water. And then you go up, that would be the north, where you see the feather, and that's the air. So it also connects you to all of the elements of the earth.
Yes.
So and then in the center there is your most important spiritual symbol, the thing that symbolizes you and your connection to spirit. So when you look at the line that goes east to west, that's your earth walk, right? That's this life.
Nice.
Then when you do the north and the south to the north, that's your spirit walk. In the middle is who you are. So really, that symbol doesn't just represent the 4 quadrants of your life. It's actually more of like a globe, that energy, like you were talking about, that extends you out into the universe. So when you do the rite of passage, there's loss. You're grieving that, if you're the mom, you're grieving that, well, your daughter's not your little girl anymore.
Yeah,
She's not totally under your protection and dad's protection, right? And there's your letting go of the past, like you mentioned in your reading. I thought that was such an interesting reading, given what we're doing. And then
It all fits in.
yeah,
It
of
all
course,
fits in.
always.
Always.
There are no coincidences.
No, not at all.
So then you would go to where we talk about the future. So I brought the little talking stick.
Okay.
little
And
talking
now
stick.
exactly what do we do with a talking stick?
Well, the talking stick is, so part of the ceremony is always, and you don't even have to be religious to do the ceremony. I mean, it doesn't have to connect to a certain spirituality for you. So we sit in circle after we do the ceremony, and then each person passes the talking stick. So when you get the talking stick, you are going to say first, in the first round, what you loved, what she's done, what she's accomplished, this child that's received the knife. And every person in that circle, no matter how big that circle is,
Gets a chance to speak.
gets a chance to speak.
Nice.
Exactly. So you're lifted up, you're welcomed, you're important.
We need to have those ceremonies every day then.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah, especially today. I mean, unfortunately, with the way children are raised and
absolutely.
how they are in school, they're always being put down.
Yes.
Yes. And it's like we need to raise them up. I mean, it's no wonder why our vibrations are always so low, because people are
Totally
not
agree.
encouraging one another to be who they are and to also be vibrant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is a recognition of who you are.
Yes.
This is your connection to community. I think the reason we talked about this, I think briefly when you were on my show, about the rise in teen and young adult suicide.
Yes.
And that's because they feel disconnected. They have
Exactly.
no community. If you do these rites of passage 8 times throughout your life, you are constantly reminded that there are people there for you.
Sure, sure.
And that's our pledge to you. We're sitting in that circle. We're not just there for that moment, that day. It's our pledge to you and participating is that we will be there for you.
Yes,
If
yes.
when you need someone, don't worry about it. You belong. Okay?
And that's powerful.
Yes.
And the teens today need that.
Yep.
They need that because
Absolutely.
unfortunately, parents are just so busy with work or whatever they're doing that they're really busy to constantly like to have that sit down. I remember when I was little, and Sunday night dinners, we'd come home and the family sit down together and have dinner.
Yes.
And we would talk about our day, and we would ask, our parents would ask us how our day was.
Right.
My parents would ask each other how their day was.
Exactly.
And they would have that conversation. And the children would be included in the conversation. How was your day?
Yep.
What did you do today? Did you have a nice day? And if the day wasn't nice, what wasn't nice about it? And then focus back in on what was nice. So it wasn't just about what wasn't nice.
Exactly.
But going back to what was nice, because we don't want to focus in on complaining.
No.
We want to focus on the good things, because what I've come to learn is that when we focus on the good things, we get more good things.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
When we focus on all the things that are going wrong, good Lord, the good Lord is really good, because the good Lord would give us more things to go wrong.
Yes.
It's just one of those things where, what we put our energy to is what we're going to have in our reality.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yes.
And that's exactly what this is about. Native Americans, and I'm talking about North Central and South
Yes.
America when I say that, very aware of that attitude of positivity. What we call positivity, that was their life. Their whole culture is based on the teaching of respect. So we're treating each other with respect in 4 directions, which those directions also talk about. So your 4 directions of respect, number 1 are the elders, because they're your teachers.
Yes, yes.
Number 2 is your community, because they're your helpers.
Yes.
Number 3 is nature, because it gives up its life to you.
Sure.
And number 4 is yourself. You respect yourself
Yes,
too.
yes, yes.
So in the second round, when we pass the talking stick, where each person is giving advice or is recognizing where does the child want to go in the future. Here's where we see your talents. Here's where what we've been through. So you've got that letting go of the past,
Yes.
and recognizing the
The
future.
future, yes.
And you're giving that child a support system
Exactly.
that loves them.
Exactly.
It's a very loving support
Exactly.
system.
Exactly.
So like what you were talking about, there are things we need to let go of.
Sure.
Like in the Sunday dinners where you do have to recognize the negative to recognize the
Of course,
positive.
sure.
So there are going to be things that you're going to let go of. And especially when you pass that talking stick to some of those older grandparents, they'll be more than happy to tell you what you need to let go of.
Yes. And
As you move forward.
exactly. And what we're going to do is we're going to be taking a quick commercial break. We're going to come back and continue this conversation, but we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Experience Feng Shui interior design for your home or office. Good Chi Feng Shui LLC can transform your home or workspace, no matter how large or small, into a harmonious, rejuvenated environment. Good Chi Feng Shui LLC. Call or email to schedule an appointment for a consultation today.
Those dark nights of the soul, they suck. But anyway, we come out of them, and I'm going to share with you what mine look like and the tools I use to stay grounded, centered, and really present no matter what's going on around me. Don't forget to tune in, Strong Island TV with Joanne Angel Barry Cologne's show.
Hi there, my name is Sherry Simpson. I am a transformational life coach. I healed an autoimmune disease of the thyroid called Graves' disease, and I like to help people heal themselves now. I did this completely naturally using many methods, and I believe connecting into my spirituality really had a huge impact for me. So I like to help people get to the root cause of issues, and I do that by allowing you to tap into your higher self and by asking your subconscious and your higher self questions about what it is that you need to do to heal. So I look forward to connecting with you soon. Namaste.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. Well, we're going to go right back into our conversation because we have a lot to share and a little time to share it all in. So let's go right back into it.
Sure.
We were talking about grandparents letting us know what we can let go of.
Yes.
So go ahead.
And that's the thing, is that when you have those recognized elders, when you have the people that are all ages sitting around you, you know, I was looking at the medicine wheel today. I have a big one as my earth altar. And I was thinking, if we did American culture medicine wheel, 18 to 45 would be this huge piece of the pie, and everything else would be eensy teensy weensy. And that's not the way we should be looking at it. And especially when we get into old age. So when you've got that ceremony in the north, which for some is the direction of healing, and that's when you become the wisdom keeper. So now we're doing this big ceremony with the community to acknowledge that your life experience is important to us. And this we are terrible at in our culture. We are
interesting
terrible.
question that's coming up for me, because nowadays when we think about generations, I mean, there are people out there who are having children very young. And because they have children very young, they become grandparents very young.
Right.
You know, so like, I'm guessing the medicine wheel is the same process, even though they might be a grandparent at a much younger age.
Well,
they still gain some wisdom.
Sure. Originally, when the medicine wheel was designed, if you really think back, who knows exactly when, 13,000 years, who knows? The oldest known site of a medicine wheel in the United States is in the Little Bighorn Mountain Range, and that one is 10,000 years old. So when that happened back then, people reached puberty at 12 or 13, and they got married around 15, 16. So life was shorter. Although there are native people who would dispute that, but let's just say that you did get married younger. You did your life and your obligation to the community and your importance in the community happened younger. So you took on your responsibilities younger. You became an elder younger because you already had accepted these responsibilities. What happens where we're seeing so much teen pregnancy without marriage is, to me, because we've lost these ceremonies and we've lost these rituals where you go into that puberty ceremony and you're sitting with boys and girls, and the elder, the grandmother that's talking to you is talking about how a lot of these ceremonies happen in a sweat lodge, which the sweat lodge is the womb of the mother, of the Mother Earth. So that's the symbology. You go in, you come out, you're reborn. You sweat, you detoxify, you pray. So you're in there, and if that is a rite of passage for somebody who's reached puberty, the grandmother and grandfathers are going to tell those kids, look, if you're the woman, you are the sacred womb. Treat it as such.
Yes.
If you're the boy, when you get to the point where you're entering that sacred space, treat it as such.
Yeah, I think the word I used earlier was respect.
Respect, exactly.
Respect it.
Yes.
Women need to respect themselves more.
Yes.
So they're not allowing the boy to enter.
Right.
I'm going to use the word, that holy space.
Exactly.
Exactly. And if women started respecting themselves more when they were younger, perhaps they would have that confidence and power to say no.
Exactly.
You know, say
Totally
no.
agree.
There's nothing wrong with that word.
Yep.
Say no.
And if you have your community sitting there, if you've been in these puberty ceremonies since you were young, you know, and you're sitting there, you've got the one you do with just the women, and then you've got the one you do with the community, and you know that the boys are being told this. The boys are being told about their responsibility.
Yes.
You know, so everybody is seeing that as sacred space, and as that, and the coupling of a man and a woman
Yes.
as a sacred act,
Yes, yes.
deserving of respect. And when we take
That's
these,
like the theme word today.
yes,
Respect.
it's our theme word,
It's the-
respect. I love
It
that
is,
theme.
it
It's
is.
my favorite theme word.
It's a theme word because I
Yep.
think, you know, when we think about relationships on a whole, the man and the woman, you know, without even including the children, but just having respect for each other.
Exactly.
So you can have a relationship.
Exactly.
And I think that's important.
And what these ceremonies do is they remind us on a continual basis throughout our life that we are supposed to have respect for ourselves,
Yes.
for our elders, for our community, for nature,
Yes.
on and on throughout our lives.
Exactly.
And when you earn something like greater status in your community because you've shown respect and responsibility, the whole community understands that that's how they go forward also.
Sure.
And then as far as how you set up the altar, you know, I brought a few things, totally up to you. You can use, you know, you pick. If I sit with somebody, I'm going to do it, you know, sit down with someone, we'll talk about what's important to them. Like I said, you could have no spiritual belief at all. You could be a complete atheist and still do a rite of passage because we're still marking these important moments in your life.
Yes.
So you would pick what goes on your wheel. From the graphic, that was my friend's daughter's wheel, and we had talked ahead of time, so we decided what went on that. And in the case of my girlfriend, who's 26, when I did her ceremony, so that would be where she's in the West, then she picked. And she did, I sent you a picture, I know we
Yes,
don't have the
yes.
graphic, but she's an artist and she does these nature mandalas. So she
Yeah,
wanted
I love that
everybody,
one. Yes,
it's gorgeous, I
gorgeous,
know.
yes.
So she wanted everyone at her ceremony to participate. So she brought all this stuff and she had us all create that mandala
yes.
as part of the ceremony.
Sure.
So the ceremony itself is very personal, but the two circles I insist on, because that to me is where it's really the message of you're important to us now, in the past, and of course going into the future,
Sure,
and we're
sure.
there for you.
Sure, yes.
So that I always insist on, and of course I may not be the person for you, you know, if that's not something that is important to you. But, excuse me.
A lot being said, so we got to nourish the throat.
And it's also, when you're the practitioner, when you're the person setting up a ceremony, you have to honor the person who's requesting the
Yes,
ceremony.
of course.
So you want to honor what their belief system is. There's no judgment here. I don't, you know, it is, in a sense, irrelevant to me what your spirituality or lack thereof is. It's really about how you want this ceremony presented.
yeah.
And I also suggest to people that once you do one, you keep doing them. You do at least the 4 basic ones. The birthing ceremony for the parents. You do the puberty one, the young adult one where you're now taking on real responsibility, becoming a member of the community in that 3rd quarter, and the wisdom keeper one, the one where you happens around age 60, 65, somewhere in there, and now you are accepting the responsibility of sharing your experience and your knowledge, but you're also receiving the respect and the gratitude.
Yes.
That is another big part of these ceremonies. Always starts with a prayer of gratitude or
Now-
a statement of gratitude.
Now, in reference to, like, at what point can one decide to have?
Any point.
Any
I mean, in our culture, we've so lost the rite of passage rituals that you know, I've had people request puberty rituals who are in their 30s, you know, because they want to go
puberty-
back.
I was going to say, how about a menopausal one?
And a menopausal ritual. Well, that's your wisdom
Yes,
keeper
yes,
ritual.
yes.
You know, so really in our culture, because we are so separated from all of this,
Yes.
if there are other people that do the same thing I do, you know, that have had people request naming ceremonies when they're 60. They never liked their name.
Yeah,
That's a
so
part of their
change your name up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
sure,
yeah. So
sure.
you know, you can for us in American culture, the standard, the American culture, I would say anytime if you need that reinforced, there are also, you know, there are also. It's the way of connecting and securing your relationships with your friends, your family, your husband. So there are also so many ways to do this. There is no real time.
Exactly,
I mean, if we were
exactly.
traditional Native American, it would happen on the
Yeah,
exact time.
What I'm also hearing too, when I say I'm hearing from my guides, you know, I'm not, you know, not my imaginary friends, but what I'm hearing too is that it probably would be a really good thing to do in reference to one reconnecting with themselves on a mind, body, and
Yes.
spiritual level.
Yep.
Because from my perspective, you know, when I do a lot of healing work with my clients, and you know, just you stare out to the general population, and there are so many people out there who are lost.
Yes.
They're lost with themselves.
Yes.
They don't know who they are. They don't know why they're here. They don't know what it is they're supposed to be doing. And to me, it just sounds like this would be the most appropriate things to do, is to realign their energy so they can figure out who they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And reconnect with themselves. Because if you don't know who you are, how on earth are you going to have relationships with other people if you don't know who
Exactly.
you are? You don't know
Exactly.
what you like. You don't know who you like. You know, it's like you're connecting. Like I find it to be really interesting that people get confused and upset on why are they attracting the people they're attracting. Well, do you know who you are? Do you know what you want? Do you know what your
Yes.
values are? And if you
Exactly.
don't, then that's why you're attracting all those people. Because you know, I read somewhere just recently that sometimes we attract people into our lives to show us what we don't want.
Yes.
What we don't want. So if you're being introduced to somebody and you're not liking anything about that person was brought into your life so you could see what you don't want.
Yep.
Now get to that place of knowing that you don't want that and quickly shift.
Yeah.
And that's where you can come in to
Exactly.
help them reconnect and get I'm going to use the word rebirth,
Yep.
reborn, so they can have this new relationship with themselves and get a better understanding of who they are and why they're here and what they're supposed to be doing while they're here.
Exactly.
And not wasting half of their life trying to figure out, well, what am I supposed to be doing?
And
And then when they
that's-
hit the wisdom stage of 60 and 70, and then they're sitting back saying, oh, I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, so I wasted my life.
Yes, and that's one of the important things we talked about a lot when we were talking about dealing with people who are dying or dealing with. I personally think of it as the art of living, because when you look at that symbol, you're looking at the whole life. This is your life.
Yes.
We had a presenter Kat Kowalski, who developed this program in the NICU, and she works with parents and families of people who have lost babies.
Yes.
And it's an amazing program. She started it as Johns Hopkins, but she said a really important thing. She said, whether your life was for 9 months in the womb, or it was for 4 minutes outside the room, or it was for 10 minutes, or 10 years, or 100 years, it is a life, and it needs to be respected.
Yes.
And what I love about rite of passage is what you just said. So maybe you didn't get that puberty ceremony. Maybe you didn't, when you do that ceremony at 20, 25 or 26, like my friend did, this is what we talked about. What is your purpose? Where are you going forward? What are you doing with your art? Is that what you want it to be? You're teaching now. Is this, we sat around and everybody said what we saw in you, and then we talked about what we see for you. And when you do that with people, I totally agree with you. One of the biggest problems that people face, young people face today, is they do not know what their purpose is.
No.
And I also think they can only have one. So like if one thing they chose isn't working out right away,
They get
then
frustrated.
they're lost
Yes,
and they're
yes.
frustrated.
And I believe to some degree we have many purposes. Our purpose may start out in a certain way. Like for example, for myself, my purpose that I've known since I'm about 6 to 9 years old, that I was going to educate and heal people in reference to personal training. I wanted to help women get in better shape and to be healthy. and I've known this all my life, and up until 10 years ago, that was what I knew I was going to be doing. And then 10 years ago, all of a sudden, I started like my journey, my transformation journey, and started learning about crystals and Reiki. And then I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, where does this all fit in? In fact, I had someone say to me during an interview, well, how does this all fit into what you do? And at the time, I was like, well, I'm still trying to figure that out. And as soon as I do, I'm sure I'll blend it all together. And that's what I'm doing now.
Yep.
Which is, formerly my business was called Fitness for Us. Now it's called Holistic Fitness. And it's called that because now I work with the entire body, mind, body, and spirit. So understanding that we do have more than one purpose.
Exactly. And that our purposes build on each other.
Yes.
That's a very important thing, I think, what you said about when in the old way, when the grandparents were the teachers, part of their job was to recognize the spirit and the talent and the gift of the child. So I'm not going to tell you to be a doctor because I want you to be a doctor. I'm going to see that you're an artist, and that we need artists. We need beauty, So I'm going to encourage you along that path.
Exactly.
And there's a very famous, do I remember the name of the psychologist? No.
No, but
there's
okay.
a very famous psychologist who said that if we could just get everybody to go back to what did you want to be when you were a kid,
Yes.
you go back there, and that's where your core purpose is. You knew.
Yes.
I mean, in my belief system, in the Native belief system, you knew coming into this world, in your belief system.
Yes.
It's like how you knew. I knew same way you did. I knew I was going to be a teacher. I knew I was going to be a performer. I didn't know how that was all going to work out later on, but I knew it from an early age.
Yes.
And if we can get the people around us to connect to that with us, then we have all the support we need, and that's what rites of passage are all about.
I think where the problem comes in for the children today is with the school system. The school system is so focused on these darn tests that the kids are too focused on having to study for these tests that are meaningless. They're meaningless. It's like, what are you doing with these tests after they take the test? Absolutely nothing. And these kids are losing the whole process of the different types of elective classes that they used to have, the arts classes, the drama classes, the whatever other classes that they had going on in school. The kids are not getting that because they're being overwhelmed with all these silly tests.
Yep.
And because of that,
and they're not getting educated. There's no education going on. It's just memorization.
Exactly. They're walking out of school. By the time they come out of their graduation, it's like, well, what did you learn?
Right.
What did you really learn? And,
it's one size fits all.
And where
education.
do you want to go from this point? Like they go into college, and they have no clue to what they want to do.
No.
Their first 2 years, they're taking academic courses, and they still don't know what they want.
Exactly.
You're spending all this money on academic courses because you didn't learn anything in the first 9 years of schooling. So now you're spending the next 2 years in college learning academics and coming out with that and still not knowing what you want to do.
No.
Somewhere along the line, that's a problem.
It is a huge problem. And what it kills me, I think I've said this on my show probably 6 million times, is that there's all this scientific research that we should basically let humans develop as humans.
Yes.
Literally, we don't even need to teach people how to read until they're 8. Because that up until you're 8, you should be working on your social skills and your creativity and your discovery and your curiosity. Literally, there have been studies with kids who have not been taught to read until they're 8 years old, and 6 months later, they are reading as well as the kids who were taught at 5.
Exactly.
Because we know how the brain develops now.
Exactly.
We know what we should be doing. We know what we're geared to do, and we are not gearing education towards that. I can't tell you how many posts I see now. Maybe it's because I'm connected to this, talking about how education has become indoctrination. That we're doing the whole old, Russia thing, not the Soviet Union thing. With give me your kids when they're 6 and I'll have them for life. So they, what did Stalin say? Education is a weapon. It just depends on who's wielding it.
Exactly.
And so we're trying to mind numb our children. That's what I see it as, and a lot of people see it as that.
Yes.
So we need to go back to these old
Exactly.
ways.
We need to go back to, which I believe, which is one of the reasons why these holistic modalities are becoming so strong and
Yes.
powerful, is because we have to go back. We have to go back. And on that note, because we have so much to share, but little time to share it all in, Manny, just let the viewers know how they can reach you for a ceremony or anything else they need to reach you for. Share it with them.
So my ceremonial hotline is 631-633-8277. That's 631-633-8277. And I will be happy to talk to you about anything you may need. I work on donation basis. I believe in sacred reciprocity, though, so we'll talk about that when we speak on the phone. But I prefer to speak to people in person, so that's why I'm giving this phone number.
There you
Although
go.
you can text me, and text me your number if you don't get me, so that you can only talk or text on that number. That's my new little flip phone, back to the old days.
There you go. Awesome, awesome. So with that said, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to be giving Manny a reading to shed some clarity. So we'll be right back.
I'm Nick Rafter, founder and owner of Nick Rafter Real Estate. If you've ever bought, sold, or rented a home in the New York area, you know how difficult a process that can be. But that's where I come in. With years of experience and knowledge of the New York rental and sales market, I can help you navigate the difficult process of renting, selling, or buying a home. Let me help you find the place to be. Here in New York, the best place to be.
Hi there, my name is Sherry Simpson. I am a transformational life coach. I healed an autoimmune disease of the thyroid called Graves' disease, and I like to help people heal themselves now. I did this completely naturally using many methods, and I believe connecting into my spirituality really had a huge impact for me. So I like to help people get to the root cause of issues, and I do that by allowing you to tap into your higher self and by asking your subconscious and your higher self questions about what it is that you need to do to heal. So I look forward to connecting with you soon. Namaste.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. So hopefully you haven't fallen off your chair because we've shared so much information, and hopefully you'll go back and take notes because there was a lot of information shared. But now we're going to be going into our card reading, and just a real big shout out to the two people that have actually put these cards together for me. My sister Donna C. Barry, she's the photographer. All of my cards have a different full moon photo on them, so the cards have been infused with full moon energy. And then we also have Rosie Bastisis, who has taken my vision and made it a reality where I get to hold my cards in my hands. And these cards are available for purchase. So those of you who are interested in learning to gain clarity, reset your energy, and raise your vibration and have your own deck, feel free to reach out to me. They are available for purchase. You can reach out to me at 646-236-9155, and you can get your cards today. They're $38. They come with a beautiful velvet bag that you can carry them in. Gorgeous bag. I need to always show the bag because Rosie loves when I show the bag. And it also comes with a guidebook, so it will help you to understand what the numerology is, what the chakras are, and also what the affirmations are. But I'm also giving a class on that too, so you're not alone if you need some guidance on how to use the cards and how to not only use them for yourself, but to give good readings for friends. And more importantly, you can make a little extra money because you can do card readings and charge for them. So we're going to go into a card reading right now. I'm going to hand the cards over. And Manny is going to shuffle them up, and as she shuffles them up, she's going to ask a question out loud to what she wants clarity on. And understand that sometimes when we shuffle our cards and we're asking a question, if we're not asking the actual question we really want clarity on, the cards may pick up on that question anyway. And also know that even though the reading's for her, you may find that you resonate to the reading as well. So when you're ready, shuffle them out, spread them out on the table. What's your question?
Well, my question is, because
Are
I'm
we going to have
running.
world peace?
Are we gonna have? Well, really, that's my goal. My goal is world peace.
Is everyone going to
And I was
heal
never
in this?
Miss America,
Is that
but
what-
my
there we
goal
go.
is world peace. So my question is, I'm actually running for office. I was going to run for the House as an independent. I believe we need more parties than
Okay.
just the two we've got.
Okay.
I think we need a lot of parties, and I was thinking about running for the House from the 1st District in New York, out in Suffolk County, for the 2020 election. But I did a training last weekend, and I'm not sure if I should run 2020, 2022 for the House. I should run locally. I feel like I need clarity about that.
All right, pick a card and let's see what we have. So we're looking at either 2020, which is a 4 energy, or 2022, which is a 6 energy. 6 energy is all about healing and nurturing. 4 is all about organizing and balancing. So let's see which one feels right. Oh, interesting. The card we receive is self-love. Self-love is the card. Now, as I mentioned, sometimes the affirmation doesn't always fit the question, but the chakra may and the number may. So we're going to see in a second. So self-love, obviously we all know what self-love is. And what I'm getting from this in reference to what you want to do as running, it's going to provide a lot of self-love for you, but more importantly, it's going to provide a lot of self-love for others, because I really feel as though it's going to straighten things out. Now, when we think about the chakra is the root chakra, getting grounded, getting balance. And I do believe that by you running and being chosen, you're going to bring a lot of grounding into the world for what it is you're going to be doing. So I think it's a positive thing for you. Now, in reference to should you be doing it in 2020 or 2022, I'm gearing towards 2022, only because of that 6 energy. And that 6 energy is all about how you're going to help heal everyone. And from what I was reading just recently, the 2020 energy that we have coming in, it's going to be very powerful energy. This is going to sound very conflicting, because I'm also hearing 2020 might be the best time for you to do this as well, because of all that crazy energy that's going to be coming in 2020. So either or will work for you. A lot of it I'm hearing is like intuition. Trust your intuition. What do you really feel for you is the best way to go in 2020 or 2022? Okay. Now, the number we have is 7-3. So before we break it down to an individual number, I'm going to give you the individual here. The 7 is all about reflecting on what is your reason for why you want to run. Okay. And also analyzing it. The 3 is all about communicating. So obviously, what it is you're going to be doing and communicating your message. And when we add it together, we have a 10, which is a 1, all about new beginnings. All about new beginnings. And I'm still trying to get that energy between that 2020 or 2022, and I still kilter to that 6 energy. Just out of curiosity, when's your birthday? Just the month and day.
October 24th.
Oh, you have my mother's birthday. Look at that. Look at that. See, look at that. So October 24th, so 24 is a 6 energy, plus that 1, which is, you add the 6 and the 1, which is a 7, and with the universal energy that we're in right now, which is a 3, which is a 10. So it's all about new beginnings right now for you. So now when we move into that 2020 energy, you're going to be going into your 2 energy. So that's your partnership energy. 2022 is going to put you into, let's see, we'll go into 3 for 2021. That will be putting you into your 4 energy. So energetically, from what I'm feeling, 2020 is probably going to be your best energy, because it's actually in the partnership segment for you at that present time. So that's what I'm feeling, although I was really gearing towards the 2022 because of that 6.
Yeah.
But 2020 will probably be a highlight for you, because that's where you're going to be in your partnership segment on an individual level for you. Does that make sense? Does
Sure
that feel
does.
good to you?
Yes.
You know,
feels
and
very
hopefully
good to me.
it's giving you some insight. And, you know, again, I'm still weighing, because I like the number 6 in itself, because that just healing and what it is you're looking to do is going to be very healing. But based on that 2020 and based on your personal energy of your birthday, that too will be right in connection to alignment to what it is you're looking to do. So very powerful.
Great.
Very powerful, yes, yes. So even though the card itself didn't really give the clarity, the number, the 1, I think is giving the clarity, the new beginning that is letting you know that there's obviously a new beginning coming in. And obviously, as you know, that would be a new beginning for you.
Yeah.
Something big for you, very powerful for you. But most importantly, you want to stay grounded while it's happening, because there'll be a lot going on and a lot of distractions if you let it happen, if you don't stay grounded. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect
You know.
sense.
And love yourself. Always, always, always. So again, that was the reading. And again, that might have resonated with you as well. And because readings do, whether it's for the individual or those watching as well, readings resonate with everybody most of the time. So it's very powerful. So again, if you are interested in having a reading or a Reiki treatment, or even coming in for a personal training session, or taking advantage of all of it, which is what I call my holistic fitness package, feel free to reach out to me at 646-236-9155. And also, if you'd like to come and be a guest on my show, starting your healing journey, or you're a healer, please send your bio and story to healingwithin76@gmail.com. And one more time, just give your information.
So my number is 631-633-8277. Talk, text, that's it. Doesn't do anything else.
There we go. So we had an awesome day today. I hope that this resonated with you, and I hope that you did get a chance to share and like today's show, and looking forward to sharing our show next week with you. Enjoy the Memorial Day holiday. Be safe out there, and remember, respect yourself, step into your purpose, and just let go of the things that don't serve you. Have a great day.